On behalf of the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition, welcome to the beautiful beaches and marine protected area of Laguna Beach. You are visiting a very special place filled with abundant marine life. Our marine protected area is the result of a long statewide campaign to support legislation that established marine protected areas in California. Our primary goal is the protection and restoration of marine life in Laguna Beach. You'll hear from some of our members tell you about their love for the ocean and learn why the marine protected area is important to Laguna Beach and perhaps to the world as a model for marine restoration.
The marine protected areas were designed through a long negotiation with spearfishing community, local fishermen, environmentalists, city officials, fishing wildlife officials, various non-governmental organizations. And so the actual shape of the Bluebelt marine protected areas became an interesting configuration. We wanted to protect as much of the rocky coast and tide pools as possible. So all of Laguna Beach's tide pools are protected, and about 75% of the coastline is protected, including our kelp forests. But we shaped the actual marine protected area into a triangle rather than a box. And that allows offshore recreational and commercial fishing folks to still go out and fish. So we're protecting the main nurseries to allow the recovery of the fish populations, protecting the most critical habitats of kelp forests and tide pools, while at the same time allowing the maximum opportunity for offshore fishing. The marine protected area begins to the north at the end of Crystal Cove State Park at Abalone Point, and this is a very prominent, steep, beautiful cliff. From there, it proceeds south all the way down to Table Rock. That entire area is a no fishing area. South of that, all the tide pools are protected down to Three Arch Bay and Monarch Point at Salt Creek. And offshore, there is some recreational fishing allowed with a valid California fishing license.
Everything that you would normally do recreating on a beach other than taking, fishing, spear fishing, collecting, those things aren't allowed. Surfing, body surfing, swimming, snorkeling, skimboarding, volleyball are permitted within the city. The majority of it is people are in the tide pools and they're just unaware of what the good tide pool rules are or what the laws are.
Remember, the good tide pooler rules are: 1. Removing animals, shells, or rocks from the tide pools is against the law. 2. Observe animals without touching them. Use your eyes only. 3. Walk gently and take care not to step on plants or animals. 4. Leave rocks where you find them without turning them over.
The Laguna Bluebelt's been a vision for about 50 years in Laguna Beach. Right after we started the Laguna Greenbelt, we obviously started noticing that the ocean needed similar protection and restoration. So the Bluebelt was incorporated in the city's vision plan about 25 years ago. And from that vision plan, various groups came together and started organizing for protection of the tide pools, kelp forests, and offshore waters. The ability of fish to reproduce is based upon their size and mass, and that's a consequence of age. Big, old, fat, female fish, BOFF, have found to be the most efficient in reproduction. One way to look at it is our national parks. When we go into the national parks, we see very large animals that are very friendly and actually pretty abundant. And the reason for that is we have long-term protection of their habitat. We're already getting reports from dive boat operators that the fish are bigger, they're friendlier, they're easier to approach and photograph. As we restore the habitat, the kelp forests and the tide pools, and allow for a more mature population of fish, we're going to see a greater abundance. I'm always reminded of how free the ocean is and how it's a place that I go to for sanctuary and peace. It is amazing how peaceful the ocean can be in the midst of urban chaos. And it's one of the few places we have left that's free and accessible any time of the day, any day of the week, to go out, see what's out there, experience some peace and quiet, and just let your mind unravel. There's no cell phones out there, there's no email, no one to bother us. And it's almost like, for me, it's like going to an underwater church. And that's why I feel such respect for the ocean, is that it's not just a place that provides us with food, it's more importantly a place of sanctuary. And it's where we're all connected together.
I've always been in the water my whole life, under and above it, sailing, surfing, above, bodyboarding, the whole works, and also underneath the water. And so now I'm taking tide pool pictures and bringing that world up into our world for people to see and learn and delight in. If I want to get some really extreme photos, I have to go to very, very low tide, like a minus low tide. There's just many, many more different species out there and different colors of the same species at a lower tide. There aren't many tide pools like this in the world. And I don't have to go to an exotic place to get these beautiful, beautiful pictures. You know, people take beautiful photographs of flowers. That's all over, you know, fields of flowers. Well, there's fields of sea anemones and sea urchins. There's tons of things down there to see, and I'm just very thankful that I'm able to bring them up and be able to show people what we have here. Well, the marine protected area is right smack dab in the middle of Laguna Beach. It's huge. I mean, Laguna Beach is the marine protected area and vice versa. It's huge for our economy. I don't think people come here for art, of course, but they also come here for the beach. The ocean has been such a part of every one of us in the Bluebelt Coalition, and we want to do something to help it.
The Laguna Bluebelt Coalition has 5 simple goals. First is education. We all want to learn more about the ocean and what is going on there so we can tell others why marine protected areas are important. The second is supporting enforcement of the new fish and wildlife regulations. If we don't all abide by the rules, nothing is accomplished. The third is habitat restoration. The larger our kelp forests, the healthier our tide pools, the more abundant our sea life will be. The fourth area of focus is to improve the ocean water quality. That means finding other uses for the millions of gallons of water we dump in the ocean. The fifth area is networking, which means working together. One of the attributes of the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition, and part of its huge success to date, has been the attitude of teamwork, working together, being respectful, and finding common ground. Together, we can make a difference.